it's time to take this thing out on a cruise. Now, I did a shakedown cruise yesterday with it after I washed and waxed it and made it look a little better. And so now I think it's time to take it out here and let's see what it'll do. Stay tuned. Well, it doesn't look too bad with a nice shine going on it. It's presentable. You don't look at them black spots too hard. And it's not real loud in the cab. Sounds a whole lot better back here though. All right, let's go cruise. All right, here we go. I'm gonna already have to readjust. I'm gonna have to adjust the steering wheel. I didn't get it centered right. I may have to get the front end aligned too. We'll see. But anyway, all right, just filled up. I topped it off, put 7.8 gallons. It was under half, close to a quarter, and it did fill the gauge up. All right, so now we got a full tank of gas. We'll see what we get here. All right, first impressions. It's kind of claustrophobic. I think I like it better with these T-tops off, but I put them on to wash and wax it. I just didn't take them off yet. Got a little play here in the steering. Maybe I can tighten up the steering box, but it tracks good when you let go. It's somewhat comfortable, and you can adjust that steering wheel down, and it custom fits good. This is definitely a cruiser. I'm not real happy with the brakes yet though. I think I may have to replace that master cylinder like that previous owner said. It's I got no leaks. I rebled them again just to make sure, and I just don't have the kind of pedal that I think I should have. So we may just go ahead and do that. Don't want to mess around with brakes. Anyway, all right. This is a very cool day, and the sun's not really, it's early yet, so the sun's not really beating down, so it's not real hot. I can't determine. I've got my heating and air set to vent, and I can't feel any air out of any vent, so I may have to do some more troubleshooting. I've not really spent a whole lot of time with it, because I was concentrating on all the other issues I had. I'm gonna take these railroad tracks a little slower now, because, well, I don't know bounce and ground clearance and all that good stuff yet. That'll come. The tach definitely doesn't work. I'll troubleshoot that. It could be a connection there at the distributor, or it could be the tach itself. I understand a little board on the back of it could go bad, and if that's the case, it's going to stay inoperable for a while, because I'm not taking that dash apart again unless I absolutely have to. And the tach's not a need to. It's kind of a, want to, but not a need to. Anyway, let's see. We're not, we've only been, oh, maybe 5 miles. Ooh, I do like the I like the power steering. It's not overly easy. There's a little bit of resistance, but it's easy to turn with one hand. I like that. Let's see, I'd say we're probably about 190 on the temp. Oil pressure, not as high as I would like it to be. It's just a little hair below 40, and I'm cruising at what, 40 mile an hour? Well, if the rule of thumb of 10 mile an hour, 10 psi per every 10th RPM, in other words, you want 40 psi at 4,000 RPM, well, it kind of fits that good, so I guess I won't complain about that. You know, keep forgetting this is 75. So are those gauges. They're going to be off a little bit. Anyway, I'll give some more thoughts as I get down the road. Oh, oversteer. You just got to watch it oversteer. I'm oversteering it, so I'll learn that. Anyway. Alright, it'll get to 90 real fast. I'll tell you, this thing feels like it's going faster than what the speedometer says, but I matched it up to my GPS and it's accurate. So, and cornering, once I'm getting it figured out, and man, this thing hugs the corner. So, it's definitely a road car. And let's see. Oh, I just discovered that I started feeling heat after I ran it up to about 90, and I started feeling heat down there around my feet and legs, and ends up I have my temperature wheel to hot, so I moved it up to cold, and it cooled off pretty quick. So I'm definitely getting airflow through my heater and through my venting, and definitely the heater works. And but it's not hot now. Anyway, I wished I would have changed out that fuel filter in the car, but I got it there at the shop. Seems like I'm feeling a little bit of hesitation. I don't know. We'll see. Just a thought. Heater's good, and I'm definitely getting air through the vent some kind of. Anyway, more impressions. The shifts are crisp, and they seem to be at the right time. I'd open it up on this nice little piece of road, but I got just too much traffic today. Should have went a little earlier. But anyway, it shifts real good. Like I say, it's crisp and at the right times. So, and it idles good. So, you know, I haven't even done anything to the engine yet. So, other than put antifreeze in it and change the oil. Anyway. I got another update. Finally got around to playing the USB. And it sounds real good. I'm real happy with that. And what you know, when I put it in, the first artist or band that comes up is Creedence Clearwater Revival. How fitting. Anyway, these down there, you see that? Those are aftermarket coffee holders, because this thing didn't come with coffee holders or cup holders. And well, if they're any bigger, they'd be highly uncomfortable. Anyway, so far we've not even hit 200 degrees, and we've gone, let's see, how many miles have we gone here? We've gone about 50 miles. Of course, it's been mostly 50 mile an hour running back roads. This thing really likes to handle them curves. I think I've got the steering figured out now, so I'm not oversteering it up. I believe there'll be enjoy the end of the summer of a run on the tail of the dragon. A couple more bugs out of this. I want to get the brakes up to 100% par. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're stopping, but it just seems like it's just too much travel. You know, with the discs all the way around, there's no way to adjust it. So there must be some play in that master cylinder. That's the only thing I can figure. Anyway, and also while cruising, I noticed it seems like the hood's not adjusted properly, so I gotta figure that out. Otherwise, this thing is a great cruiser. I mean, this is really, I'm comfortable, stretched out, fits good, plenty of power, handles great. Yeah, this is definitely a good cruiser. Anyway, back to the cruisers. NCCR. Like a mini dragon. Anyway. beauty rings. Oh, it's one of my beauty rings. curvy turns out. I don't know how much of that I'm going to be able to use, because I know a couple times I had to straighten the camera up. And that one time I had to retrieve my one of my beauty rings, my rear left side. Guess I was doing a lot of left turns, like NASCAR maybe, I don't know. But some impressions. This, I'm not even going to talk about the power. I'm just going to compare the handling characteristics and the comfort. And of course, this Vette is 10 times the car the Ghia was. That Carmen Ghia, I used to really tear that little mountain road up quite a bit, and I could barely get out of second gear in that in the Ghia. And of course, this is an automatic, but you know, I probably couldn't have got out of second gear if this was a 4-speed. But still, it was more power, handled 100% better, and 100% more comfortable. Bad thing about the Ghia is what you do with your left foot. I mean, the wheel well creeps up on you, and you're it gets after a while, let's say after about a half hour, you start feeling it, and after an hour, it's downright uncomfortable. Well, that's how it was to me. I know a lot of guys that own those Ghias love them, and I don't want to knock it too much, because you know, if you fit one good and it makes you happy, that's what counts, you know. But I just could never get it to fit me right, and this Vette seems to fit me a whole lot better. Just wished it was a little easier to get in and out of. But anyway, I'm enjoying my country roads with this. This is definitely a cruiser. Quick look at the vitals. All's looking good. The temp, I hope it's accurate. It hadn't even got to 200 degrees. Of course, it's a cold day. Oil pressure's been staying about right under 40. Ammeter's been staying in the middle. Gas is about down to 3/4 tank, so I've eaten up about a 1/4 tank of gas. That's good. That's all right. Kind of wished I did have a tach now, just to compare, you know, RPM with mile per hour. One thing about this Vette, I don't know if it's because I'm sitting so low or what, but it feels faster than when it's going. You're doing 50, it feels like you're doing 60 plus. I don't know. It's one of them things. And I've got the, pretty much I've got the steering down pat. I'm not oversteering now at all. So, anyway, color me likey. Anyway. Well, all right, it's cruising real good right now. Beautiful weather. It's in the high 60s, low 70s. Perfect autumn weather. I think we just, I think yesterday was the start of autumn or fall. I didn't show it. I should have recorded it, but I went ahead and went back into them gauges again, and I got my ammeter working. I found the one of the wires going to the windings had opened up, so I just soldered it back, put it all back together, and got it going. I looked at the clock, and well, I couldn't get it apart, and so I put it all back. I put the clock back in. So right now, that's that and the tach are the two gauges I don't have working now, and I'm going to reserve them for wintertime projects, because I want to enjoy this thing a little bit before the weather turns. Even though I do have a working heater, you know, I could drive this in the winter. I've got the one-piece roofs, and of course I got these T-tops still installed, and or Targa tops, I believe is what I've been corrected, Amlin. But anyway, I do have a little bit of a mist still when I get above 60, and I'm thinking it's fuel related. with that Quadrajet. Up to 55, it's just as smooth as can be. At idle, it's kind of rough, but mid-speed to 55, it's pretty smooth. Above 55, I've got surging. And at first, I thought it could have been timing, but the timing, it was originally set at 21 degrees before top dead center, and I've backed it back down to 12. That's what that 69 350 I had in the GMC was set at, and it was the perfect setting for it. And so I don't think it's timing, although I am going to try to set this to the max mechanical advance, and when I do the carb swap, and see if that doesn't improve it some. I just got passed by a C4. Oh, what we got here? We got a festival, fall festival coming up. I may show my truck. October, what? In October. Okay. All right. Back to the crew. Alright, as I stated in the video, and as you all no doubt saw, this is actually a compilation of 2 different cruises I did within a week and a half span. The first cruise was about a 60-mile round trip that I didn't really push it hard because I wasn't sure, I wasn't trustworthy yet of how it would respond, and it did so good that the bugs that I discovered on that cruise, namely I did replace the master cylinder, I did replace I did pull that center bezel out and fix the ammeter and look at the clock, and I couldn't reach behind and get, because this has got air conditioning ducts, I couldn't get to the back of that tack, and I wasn't pulling that out again, so that's a wintertime thing I'll get to. But I straightened all that up, and I also re-centered the steering wheel. And then when I took it back out on that second cruise, I decided I was going to take it on that little curvy mountain road. Now I would name it, but so I don't want to really bring too much attention to that, because as you can see there wasn't a whole lot of traffic on it, and I don't want it to get too much more. We've got a bunch of roads like that. You know, we've got hills and dales and little mountains all over the place. But that's one of my favorite ones to exercise pretty good. It's kind of like a precursor to the Dragon, and this did so good. The only problem was I lost the dadgum hubcap. Well, I didn't lose it, it popped off. I heard it hit. In the video you may can hear it. And just before I pull over and make my little unfortunate remark that I'd lost it. And anyway, I seen it in my mirror roll and hit on the side of the road, so I only had to walk back about 75 feet to find it. And a fellow on top, he lives that lives on the hill above it, said, "What's happened? Did you hit something?" I said, "No, I said I just lost the hubcap, and I'm retrieving it, and I found it." He said, "All right, be careful," you know. So it was pretty good. I used to tear that little mountain road up a lot with that gear, and it may have sounded like I was knocking the gear, and I really don't want to do that because it was a fun little car to drive, but just didn't fit me good. I don't know, my size.
I don't know. It was hard on my left leg because I just didn't know where to set it pretty good. I even changed the seats and everything out. Flip side, Corvette fits me a whole lot more better, so I think it's a good change for me. And if any of you all are watching this from some of my old Gias videos and you're a Gia person, please don't think I'm knocking you, because like I said, if it fits you and you're happy with it, that's the main thing, right? Right. But anyway, the wife, I think I'm going to take her out on a cruise, but I'll spare you all that video. You know, there's only so much cruise videos that are worth watching, and so far it doesn't seem like the vet has caught on much, but anyway, I still got a lot more to do to it, and I'm gonna continue working on it. So anyway, front end's good, braking's good, power's good. I still have that issue, and I'll be starting another series soon where I've come across a Holley 650 spread bore carburetor that's basically a direct bolt up to this manifold. I also got an Edelbrock dual plane manifold, but when I pulled this Rochester to check it out, I noticed that the manifold that's on here is a dual plane. I didn't realize they were a dual plane back OEM, and I'm pretty sure that's an OEM manifold. Could be wrong, but it's you know, I'm concerned about putting too tall of a manifold on this engine and have the clearance to clear the hood. So I'm going to rebuild it at Holley, since the guy I got it from said he got it from a swap meet. Looks practically unused, but I'm going to go through it. I got a kit just finally come in, and I'm going to put it on this existing manifold since it's a direct back bolt up. That'll be upcoming. Stay tuned for that. So anyway, I believe I'll stick a fork in these two very outstanding and pleasurable cruise videos that I combined into this one. So, all that said, I hope everything's going good with you and yours. Everything's going good here. Can't complain. It's never done me any good to complain anyway. Maybe a little bit, but basically, you just got to take care of the business. So, I hope you have a good one, and I hope to see you around on the next one. See ya.